Hello mathematicians, this is Mrs. Petrova, and today in this lesson I'm going to go 6th grade chapter 7 homework problem or review preview problem 7-9. I have opened my ebook as you can see on the computer, and I have prepared my notebook paper. So please pause the video if you do not have those things open yet. I will now read the problem out loud from my ebook. If you'd like, go ahead and pause the video and read it to yourself. Adam earns $36 for every 4 hours of work. If he continues to be paid at the same rate, A, how long will it take him to earn $144? Show and explain your reasoning. So I already read the general information and example A, so I'm going to pause and do a second read or annotate and start writing in my notebook. So I set up my notebook. So the way you set up with your teacher, go ahead and do so. I wrote HW for homework, the lesson number, and what I was going to do on that paper. And please include your date, the date that the teacher told you. I also wrote down the given information. So I did my second rate and I wrote the important information. So $36 for every 4 hours of work is what I identified as the important information. And then the word rate, or if it continues to be paid at the same rate. So I wrote that in my notebook as the given information. So now I'm going to continue by saying, well, what do they want me to do in example A? Notice that I also wrote down 7-9. And it says, how long will it take him to earn $144? Show and explain your reasoning. So right now I need to make sure that I'm writing that I'm doing example A. So they want how long. So how long, and I could write that down. Will it take him? To earn, and then $144. Now I could have organized this information also in a small table or a T-chart, but right now I decided to just write it down. So one way I'm going to show my work is using a small picture or drawing, and it says for every 4 hours of work. So I'm going to draw 4 equal parts, or like a double number line, but I know there are 4 equal parts and each one will represent 1 hour. So on the bottom, the number line, let me make it black now. So the number line on the bottom is going to be counting hours. So I have 0 hours, 1 hour, 2, 3, 4. So for every 4 hours is $36. So I have to put the $36 at the end. So my top number line is going to be counting money. And when there is 4 hours, it's $36. But the advantage right now is I could find 1 if I need to. But I use the correct information. Now I'm going to kind of go back to what's needed. So I need to go to 144 hours. So that means I need to continue drawing my number line in the pattern I selected unless I find a different way. So I'm going to continue with my picture. So every 4 more, so 1, 2, 3, 4 will be another $36. So that will give me 8 hours. And then 36 plus 36, so I can go 36 times 2. So pause the video and find out what would you write on top of here, and would that be close to 144? So I realized it's $72 if I continue for 8 hours. And now I want to make a connection. So do I continue drawing? If I don't have space, I'll continue on the bottom, but I'm making a connection right now. Observation is that 72 and 144 are related. So if I double that, then I will get that information. So perhaps my strategy right now is, now I see the pattern in my picture, I can rewrite it differently. So if I said that if I double, that will give me 100. So I'm going to write the given ratio first. So I have $36 for every 4 hours of work. And then I want to find out how do I get to $222. And I'm writing it on top because earlier I wrote it on the top. And then how many of this? So I'm going to either count by 36 to get to 222, or I can think of how many times 36 goes into 222. I already started the pattern of 36 on top. I could use adding or multiplication. And again, you could see that you can think of backwards by using division. But finding the pattern, another 36 will give me 108. So I have, let me write my pattern here, 36, 72, 108, and plus another 36. Let's see. So sometimes it's easier to add slowly. Oh, there's the 144. We already knew that, so I could have written that. So far I have times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4. I need to get to 222. I'm adding 36 again. So as you can see, long division might be easier for some of you. So you decide. So go ahead and pause the video and figure out how many times does 36 goes into 222. So I'm not sure, but if you realize that I made a mistake over here, that was 180. So hopefully you didn't do the same mistake. So I went ahead and I added slowly with the pattern of 36 over here. I kept the pattern. So what I'm really realizing that 222 is not, so 36 does not go evenly into 222 because these are my pattern. So 36 one time, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my answer is between 6 and 7. So there is no, there's no whole number. So if I multiply by 6, I would not get to 222. I would get to 216. So somewhere between 6 and 7. So what I'm going to do now is definitely use a long division or use the calculator. So I'm going to say 222 in my notebook and the calculator divided by 36. And I'm getting a number. It should be a number between, like we said, 6 and 7. So there will be a decimal on your calculator. And then I'm going to use that same number I get to multiply the 4 and find out my answer. So go ahead and pause the video and do that now. So for the answer for letter B, I got 24 2/3 or 24, and the 6 will be repeating forever, so you're gonna see it. So you could round up, or I could write 24 2/3, and that will be in hours for $222. So I did that using the calculations I shared. So let's pause the video and try letter C on your own. First, of course, you have to read it. Okay, letter C. How could you describe his rate for a 40-hour work week? What about for a 7-hour day? Show and explain your reasoning. So go ahead and pause the video and set up your letter C in your notebook. And remember, they have few things here, 40 hours. And remember our example A, of course, that we had something in the patterns of 4. So I already wrote 40 hours and I did my little picture. I'm referring to the picture from example A, and then they want for 7-hour day. Now, to get to 40 hours, I could just say, well, from 4 hours, I can multiply by 10 and that gets me the 40 hours. So you could do that. You can find the answer on your own. I wonder if you could figure out how to do the 7-hour. So here's an idea. Pause the video and try first. So here's my idea. If I know 1 hour, instead of doing that division I did before of wondering what's going on, I'm going to say, well, one part has to be 9. Oops, this is 9. Because 9 times 4 will give me 36. So all of these should be 9 in terms of dollars. So that's how I got 36 for 4. Now I can find any hour they want. So if $9 is for 1 hour, then you could answer this question on your own. So thank you for watching this video.